Hello everyone. Um, this video is just quickly to show you what I've been working on. As you have seen from my other videos, this is the program memory that I've been working quite a bit on. This has been complete, and the ALU has been complete, which is essentially a form of calculator. However, as you know, even though they're working, they haven't actually been hooked up. So that's what I've been doing over the past couple days. I've been working on this. Sorry I haven't put out more videos. It's just been that I've been playing a bit of modded Minecraft with my friends and time sort of got away from me. So what I've done is the outputs of the memory goes into this sort of splitter where it splits off to that section, and it also splits off down to the ALU. So, using just a single line, this line, you can talk to multiple things. For example, if I sent the number 0001, or actually inverted as it comes in would be 00001000, this line would activate. The signal would also go down to the ALU. However, because the ALU, none of its commands match the signal coming in, it won't do anything. So, essentially, I'll start over at the ALU. I've hooked these functions up to it. And essentially, by flipping everything as necessary, in this section here that I've been working on, you can program in each individual register. So, over here, I have set it to addition. Up the end there, I've set the lower register, and there to the upper register. If I actually start the memory, you can see me actually doing that. So I come over here, reset the line pointer back to 0, and now if I run step, and if I'm quick enough, you should see things start happening. It's just reset because it matched this command here, which is 00000011. And in a moment, as you can see, it's set the function registers. It'll set the lower and upper registers to 3, starting with the lower and ending with the top one. As you can see, it set the bottom ones, and now it's a case of setting the top one. We just give it a moment because it's quite slow. After each of these, it pings back a signal to the memory saying that that command is done. And now in a moment, we should see 00000111, which means to start the calculation. Any moment now. Oh, unless it's already sent it, and I've missed it. Yeah, it looks like I've probably missed it. So, when that sends across, as you can see, the output of the ALU, minus the flags, which I still have to do, come over to here. This is 1 byte of memory. Now, this isn't actually going to be the setup for all of the memory. Instead, it's going to be the setup for the internal 1 byte, which then, say, if you wanted to set register 7 to whatever this is equal to, you would set this, and then you would tell it to go to register 7. I haven't actually set up the outputs yet. However, as you can probably see, the system is working. So, at the moment, the code that I have in there, which I'll just quickly explain, this first line clears the ALU registers. 1 at the end here, meaning ALU clear. You can put stuff in these, but it doesn't really do anything. The next one is set the ALU function. And over here you can see I've set the value to addition, those last 4 bytes in this command, or those last 4 bits, don't actually do anything. It's these 4 that set it. So it's set to addition in this example. If I wanted to set it to subtraction, all I would have to do is turn that on. Then the next line sets the ALU register. At the moment I've only got it to literal numbers rather than from a register, but I'll be working on that. So this sets the lower register to 3. This command sets the upper register to 3. And then this, your 00000111, it goes ahead and pings off a signal to the ALU to say start the calculation, which comes along this line, around the system, and eventually comes back. As it comes back, it tells the system ready for the next command. It essentially just waits until the ALU is finished. This next command is set the memory over there that I was describing, just there, to the literal number 153. There isn't any reason for this, I'm just testing out the memory. I just like this pattern of lights just because it looks cool. So it sets it literally to 153. This next command, however, sets the memory to whatever the output of the ALU was. This one, again, doesn't require anything at the end, just like the ALU wait for calculation line. This next command, if I recall correctly, it reads from the memory. So, if I quickly go over there to show you what I mean, the read from memory command, oh, you can see it functioning actually, you'll see it in a moment. So it's just set it to the output of the ALU, and in a moment it'll do the read command. Yeah, so it's just read from memory. The way I intend to have it set up is once it's read from the memory, this is like before you read from the memory, you would set it to a certain register. Like for example, register 3. If you wanted register 3 to be equal to the output of the ALU, you would set the output of the ALU, set it in this memory here, open the lines over to register 3, and then read. And then you would probably set this literally to 0 if you wanted to, although it doesn't make much of a difference. And then register 3 now has whatever the output of the ALU was. If I have a loop around so you can read from register 3 and put the result in here, which I'll be working on, then you can set this to any register and then put that number in any other register, so you can move variables along. From there, I should also be able to read from a variable to set this, and then instead of setting a register, instead this output goes down to the ALU and sets that. That'll probably take quite a bit of time, but that's my current plan. So as you can see, it reads from that and gives an output. The next line, if you have a look, is the same as this one here. Instead of literally setting to 153, instead I'm setting to the number 0, as the equivalent of resetting the memory. And then here, where you've got 1, 1, command 1 is go to. 1 means, well, line 1. So this command here is telling it, go to line 1, which is this one, where it starts all over again. It clears the ALU, it sets the function, lower register, upper register, etc., etc., and it continues looping infinitely. So, these little things were a bit of a pain to set up, but I've realized that there's a way easier way to do it than I have in there. Instead of having the whole system dip down and back up, instead of a redstone torch, you put dust, a redstone repeater set to 2 ticks, and then the redstone back up to this torch, which seems to do the trick quite nicely. You don't have to worry about timings, everything just works. So this, as you know, this command goes over. It first resets all the registers, then it sets them. The reason for this is so that it can set it to an absolute number. Because if you have a look at that, that is actually a really old way of doing things. I can just quickly build up one of the tiny blocks here. Put that there, or actually put a block of gold just because it looks better. And there we go. Oop, there we go. So this is essentially what it looks like. If you have a look, that is literally what I've done in this section here. And if you know the sort of the older systems, to set memory, you would flip that on or flip it off. However, with this system, that resets. So even if it's out like that, it resets. That's what this reset line here does. It just automatically pulls back the block no matter what state it's in. Then the line comes across. At the same time, it pulls these up, and whichever one of these lines are on, those ones will go through, trigger this piston, causing that to be set to 1. At the same time, this line pings back to say the command is done. And at the end here, I've just put a simple little circuit that unless you set command 00001010, if you set that, then the output is set to whatever the internal memory is. Like here. At the moment it's not in or outputting anything, but if we give it a moment, it'll trigger the read line. There you go. You've got your output. There's still a really long way to go on this, but I'm actually getting close. Now that everything is finally connected together and I can test it all at once, yeah, I'm really close. I'll be updating the world download below the description of this video if you guys want to check it out. I will probably be attaching a sort of an updated system as to what each of these commands do. There is one command I'm still trying to get working, and that is goto. Oh, sorry, goto if. Goto works fine, but goto if seems to have a slight bug. This at the moment is acting as the if. So we're pretending it's false or pretending it's true. I haven't quite figured that one out, but you can set a register to true or false depending on what ALU flag you want to check. Or alternatively, you don't even use a register, you just read directly from it. So like set this to ALU flag A bigger than B. If true, then go to a certain line number. If false, continue on just as normal. So I've got a lot of work ahead of me, but yeah, this is definitely coming together quite nicely. And yeah, can't wait to get it finally finished. So, thanks for joining me. I'll see you later, I guess.